Michael Griffiths.
Thanks, mate. Lovely to be with you. That's exactly right. So I think to drive down that hour and a half from Sydney and you just go, we're here, we've made it. I've done my Laura exercises, so I was out there doing my butt moves and my humming, so I think I'm pretty much right to go. So great to be with you guys. I think normally I'd sort of come down here with you. I feel like I'm miles away, but that's okay. For the recording, I need to stay up here, I've been told. So excuse that distance between us. I feel like we're much closer, but we're just going to have that distance. So I really want to just be able to go through with you a whole bunch of things that you can be doing to start generating leads, opportunities, referrals without having to pay a cent on marketing. Who's sick of paying for marketing? No, only a couple of people. The rest were okay with paying. I can't stand paying for marketing. If it's probably the thing that through 7 businesses, we've sold 6. I reckon we're lucky if we've probably paid $1,000 in total for marketing across 9 years of running businesses. If I don't have to pay for marketing, I don't want to pay for marketing. Pretty simple. So hence, we found out ways to go, good, how do we get more people passing us referrals? How do we use our networks more effectively? And how do we leverage into other people's networks so that they can fill our sales funnels for us? And that's what we're going to go through. And we're actually going to start where I want you to be able to walk away from this going, good, I've got a fairly clear plan on a handful of things that I can do to actually make that work for me. We're okay with that? All good? Lovely. So quick background, teacher by trade, 10 years, primary school, high school math. So in terms of getting people to do stuff, it's probably in my background as my 30 kids would sit there. Well, we actually want to get stuff done. So I don't want to just be able to talk to you and then you walk away and go, yeah, that's really great, but I've just got no time to do that. I actually want you to get stuff done right now. So I know in that notebook of yours, you've got space. So by the time we finish, I want that pretty much filled up with ways that are actually going to help your business. So we're going to take the overall concept and then you're going to drill it down into how you can actually do it for your business. And let's make sure that we've got a bit of a plan by the time we finish. Okay? So the problem's pretty simple. We generally want more leads, more opportunities, and not have to pay so much for those leads and opportunities. So Steve was going through before, out of your 5 ways, where is it? Great. Well, let's focus up at this top part here. So if you go, in fact, let me just check in. Anyone got too many leads? Sometimes I get a yes. Okay, good. So at least I know we're not dealing with that one. Could you get, say, 25% more? If you can get 25% more leads, you'd be pretty happy. Yeah, handful, 50% more. Yeah, okay, good, more than 50% more, just so we know sort of what we're dealing with. So roughly, if we could get another 50%, 25%, we'd be pretty happy. Okay, lovely. So the reason why most people don't end up generally getting referrals is because they don't have referral teams. So you might go along to places where networking places or structured referral group places, and you go there and you hope that someone might pass you business. But have they actually gone there themselves with that intention? Of course not. They've gone there to get business themselves. So now you've got all these people in a room with the intention of going to get business that no one's actually there to give business. Okay. So therefore, what I say we need to do is build referral teams around us. Build people around us who actually have the same clientele that we do. We don't compete with each other, and we could actually share networks and share clients with each other. So we're going to go into depth of how to actually do that. Okay. The other thing which tends to be a big problem is we don't have the right sort of networks. We don't have people around us who we constantly remind what we do that could actually pass us business. So if you look at your networks, your networks include anyone that you've got in your CRM, anyone you've got in your phone, anyone you've got on a social media platform, they're all part of your networks. How well do you utilize those networks? How many conversations a day do you have with those people? Are you actually creating opportunities with those people, or are you just hoping that they might actually remember you? And unfortunately, they don't remember you. So let's have a look at how we can actually do and use our networks a lot better by having the right sorts of networks. Finally, in business, we get told to do a whole bunch of stuff. And it's generally stuff that you have to do. I know business is so much more fun when we're doing things with other people. So this morning, as an example, before 9 a.m., I had 11 calls. One to Israel, one to New Jersey, one to Florida, one to Brisbane, so all over the place. And every single one of those calls was, great, how do we share each other's networks? Would you mind sharing this to your network that's going to give me more exposure? How about this little course? Would you like to promote it to your guys and let's sort of do some sort of joint venture on it? But what we're constantly doing is doing things with other people. We're not trying to do everything ourselves. We're not just trying to use our own network, our own source of clients. We're actually doing things with a whole bunch of other people. So let's talk about how that can actually happen. Okay? But this is the problem where it starts. I've just got no idea who I should partner with. So let's start off here. First little thing that we're going to do together. And let's work out who actually is a partner for you. So what I want you to be able to do is you need to be able to go, who do I sell to? So who is it that I actually sell to? Put that person down. I think you've got a notes page there. So at the very top of the notes page, go, who is it that you actually sell to? So you might go, and I'm lucky enough, I know Karen. So Karen goes, I sell to businesses. Okay, HR solution platform means that I sell to businesses. Good. Who else do we sell to? Who do you sell to? Brides, fantastic. Next one, who do you sell to? Homeowners, fantastic. Who do we sell to? Businesses, fantastic. Who do we sell to? Businesses, who do we sell to? Lovely. Who do we sell to? Fantastic. Just to make sure I was correct. Lovely. Who do we sell to? Businesses also. Businesses also. Lovely. Businesses. Okay. People who run businesses, great. Perfect. In the middle? Everyone. Yeah, well, okay. Narrow it down for me. Who do you sell to? Homeowners. Great. So once you actually understand who you sell to, your next question is, who else do those people buy from? Who do they buy before they buy from you? Who do they buy after they buy from you? Who else do they just generally buy from because they need that type of product or service? Start making a list of those sorts of people. So again, if I just use Karen's business here in HR, and she sells to businesses, good. So the people who buy from Karen also probably buy from web people, probably also buy from IT people, probably need solicitors, probably look for marketing people. They have an accountant, they have a bookkeeper. So they're the sorts of people now Karen is writing down who have the potential to be her partners. Okay, let's take 2 minutes. I reckon you should be able to come up with half a dozen easily. Karen, you could probably help other people, seeing I've just given all yours to you. Let's take 2 minutes and let's just start getting down. Who else do our people buy from? Lovely. 2 minutes. We might go, thank you, Mr. Music. It's Steve with his phone not being organised. All good. Okay, yell out if you need some help with it all. But who else does your person buy from? That's what you want to write down. Now, you're likely to get all the inside the box ones, which is great, and then hopefully we can extend it from there. Who else do your people buy from? Who do they spend beforehand? Who do they spend money with afterwards? What are the other products or services that they need? Try to get about half a dozen or so, as many as we can in the next 90 odd seconds. So you're just constantly thinking, where else do my people, the people I sell to, where else do they spend money? Because all of those people have the potential for you to partner up with. So those people selling to homeowners or families, what else do they buy? Those people selling to businesses, what are the other professional services that they use? What else do they need to get their business up and going? So have a think about, are there certain suppliers? Are there certain distribution channels? Are there certain clubs, associations that these people are a part of? And now you're starting to think a little bit broader in terms of who else these people might be utilising. Who's got at least 3 down? Who's got at least 3 down? This sort of just gives me an indication of whether we can move. Good, most people, fantastic. Let's keep on going, because this isn't just a do it once and it stops process. This evolves forever. I wake up every day thinking of new people that we could partner with. So I apologise now if you're waking up at 2 a.m, 3 a.m, going, oh, I could partner with them. At least we're going to be in the same boat, because I do it time and time again. So at least I know other people are doing it too. Why is this important? The first thing you need to realise, and I would be writing this down and I would be sticking it on a wall because it gets you over your own doubt. Everyone wants to partner with people. If they could create sales because of your networks or how you could help them, who wouldn't want that opportunity? So you've got to constantly remember, doesn't matter how big you are, doesn't matter how small you are, everybody wants more exposure into new networks, opportunities to sell to people that they don't even know yet, and opportunities for other people to pass them referrals. Every single person. So the worst thing that happens when you ask somebody, hey, would you like to be some sort of partner, is that they say, no. Big deal. Move on to the next person. Okay, because they're probably not the right person anyway, if that's how they're thinking. Okay, the majority of people that you're going to ask, they would love that opportunity. And the reason they haven't asked in the past is because they didn't know how to do it. Where by the time we finish, you're going to know exactly how to do it. So this is what I love. The opportunities you have right now on the table are just huge. So let's take, let me take Caravan Camping. Who's a possible partner?
Well, I've just got into a partnership as of today with somebody, and I sell printed shade walls in Caravan, but he sells printed mats, and he doesn't want to get into the shade wall business, but he
Brilliant.
has one of our shade walls with his image on it, and he's the one that travels around to all shows Australia-wide, whereas we're his umbrella.
Fantastic. But now this is where my mind goes. How many people do you think do printed mats? Guarantee he's not the only one in the country. So not necessarily meaning that now you team up with all of them, but that is the opportunity. Okay? So Karen here goes, I'd love to be around IT people. How many IT people are there in this country? Okay? So if one says no, who cares? I've only got another 100,000 I could ask. So if you start thinking now that each person you put down, there's actually like thousands of them, you can now start to see the opportunities that sit there. Okay? Now, we talk about a whole range of different partnerships that we'll get into when we talk about referral teams. And one of them is just simply, how do you do a simple cross-promotion? Meaning, how do I promote you to my network, and how do you promote me to your network? Well, you could do that with every single person of that particular industry you wrote down, because all you're simply doing is promoting each other. You're not telling your network to go buy from them. You're just giving them more exposure. Okay? But we'll get to that a little bit later. So what tends to be the problems? Well, we're not quite sure in knowing how to do it or what to do. So we're going to answer a whole bunch of that very shortly. Generally, we don't have much of a clear plan. So I know that you probably have a business plan, a marketing plan, maybe a 12-month plan, maybe a 90-day plan, maybe a 30-day plan. And you might have that in different areas of your business. But most people never have a referral plan. They just go, oh, I hope I get referrals today. And what tends to happen? They don't. But those that actually have a clear referral plan, well, they actually know what to do every day to get as many referrals as they want a day. So let me share this with you for no other reason but where it can get to. So at this far end, we generate 40 to 50 qualified referrals a day and about 150 to 200 new leads into sales funnels. Don't pay a cent on marketing. But even if you just wanted one referral a day, that changes a lot of businesses, doesn't it? 5 qualified referrals a week, you close 3 of them, you've got a different business after a couple of weeks. So the nice thing is whether you want that or whether you want that or whatever you want in between, you have to plan for it. And if you don't plan for it, what happens? We don't get it. Okay? So it's like me going, Monday morning, 8:30, got to get down there to that gym and do that cycle class. If I don't plan for it, guess what happens? Don't do it. I get many, many, many excuses that I could use. But if it's planned, then it happens. And that's what we need to make sure. It's so much easier when you work with others. So I want you to really put that somewhere in bold, capital letters. Don't try to do everything yourself. If you are constantly going, I need to find one lead, oh, then I've got to convert that one. Then another lead, oh, I've got to convert that one. You can only spend so many hours in a day. So imagine if you then went to someone that actually exposed you to their network and you got 10 leads all at once. Now, what do you have to concentrate on? Just converting and closing them. Like, that's much easier, isn't it? If you could get into networks that provided you the leads and then all you had to do was the second part of it, we've got a whole bunch of time back into our life. Okay? So that's how I'm thinking. I'm constantly thinking about how do I leverage into new networks, which is where our leads come from, rather than me trying to go one lead, which is slow, painful, and very hard to do. Okay? So 3 key principles that we're really going to go and dig a little bit deep to. First one is all around building your referral teams. So Steve said something before about getting referrals from your clients. We don't even bother. Yeah, I'd love referrals from our clients, and we do actually have a plan for it. But imagine if you actually didn't even need to ask your clients to pass your referrals. Imagine if you had teams of people who actually had the same clientele that you did, and you actually got on a call every week or every fortnight to strategize how you'd get each other business. How easy is that? So we're going to break our referral teams down into a couple of things. Okay, so the first thing we're going to break our referral teams down is into what we call profitability partners. So I'm looking for 6 profitability partners. You're not going to have time to do any more than 6, so that's why we limit it to 6. With these people, I'm going to have a weekly phone call. It's not going to take any more than 10 minutes, and our whole purpose is to strategize on how we're going to give each other more business. So the first thing I need to do is I need to look into my network to go, who actually should be a profitability partner? Who has the same sort of mindset and values that I do? Who has the same sort of desire to help me grow my business because I've got the desire to help them grow their business? Who has the same sort of networks and we sell to the same sorts of people? So they're the things that I've got to think about. Anyone got some names popping up into their head straight away? No, that's fine. Got a couple of nods? Okay, good. So this is what I want you to think about. Who in your network, and you might have to pull out your phone and have a look through there, or you might have to think, who's given me a referral in the past? Or you might have to think, who have I got a great relationship with that I would be happy to pass my clients on to? Because those sorts of people would make great profitability partners. So let's just sort of go quick couple of minutes and see if we can get down some names. Who are people who actually have the same clientele that I have? Hey, we get along pretty well. They've got the same sort of mindset and values as me. And if we actually were to strategize with each other each week, we probably actually could share each other's networks and clients. Who are those people? See if you can get some names down. So let's go 2 minutes and see if you can actually think of some names that you could actually ask about being profitability partners, and then we'll go through how to do that. Okay, let's go. 2 minutes, see if you can get down some names. All those people in the room that said they sold to businesses, got a feeling you probably need to talk to each other, because there's every opportunity that you probably actually could be partners in helping each other. You already know each other. You already have some sort of trust with each other. So you probably need to, after this, go, hey, I work with businesses and you work with businesses. Shall we explore about being profitability partners? Who's finding it really hard and just doesn't have a single name? Lovely. I was a little bit fearful that we might have a whole bunch of hands, so I'm really pleased that we didn't have hands. Okay, as long as everyone's got at least one name, let's go through the process, and more names will evolve as you continue to work on this and we put a plan together. So in terms of now, how do you get a profitability partner? How do you actually start? What do you do? So I'm going to apologise first up. This isn't rocket science. So when you look at how simple this is, don't hate me for it, just follow the steps. First step. You have to ask. And it's as simple as saying, hey, Karen, I'm just building some referral partners. We work with the same sorts of people and we don't compete. Would you like to be a referral partner? It's as simple as what it is. And it's either yes, I do, or no, I don't. Either way is fine. Now, you might have people that you're asking who have got no idea what a referral partner is. And you might have to explain that to them. So don't be taken back if they go, referral partner, what's that? And you have to explain it, that it's just simply, hey, we're going to talk to each other and try to find each other new business through our networks. And now they'll have an idea of actually what you get it to be. So let's go now. Karen said yes. So now the second step is we've got to have a conversation around what does our referral relationship look like. Number one killer of why most referral relationships will fizzle out and die within 3 to 4 months is because we're not on the same page to start with. Right? Who's experienced this, which happens all the time? It's simply, hey, do you want to be referral partners? Oh yeah, that sounds great, let's do that. And in the first week, we're really excited, so we talk to each other probably 2 or 3 times. And then in the second week, maybe we speak to each other once. By the time we get to 30 days, we might shoot it off an email. And in the second month, we hardly speak. By the time we get to the third month, we're really not communicating at all, and that was a complete waste of time. And it fizzles out and dies. That tends to be how that referral relationship looks like. But it doesn't if you start with the proper conversation. Because if I'm over here and I say, hey, a referral partner to me means that we're going to jump on a weekly call for 10 minutes and strategize how we can help each other. But this person over here goes, oh, let's catch up sort of once every 90 days. How's that going to work? They're going to say, Michael, you're a pain in the butt, leave me alone. And I'm going to go, hey, John, pull up your socks. What are you doing here? So there's no possible way that that relationship can work. So we need to, after that person says yes, we need to say, great, let's just jump on a quick 10-minute call and make sure that we're on the same page so that we can have a good referral relationship. Make sense? Yep. Okay, so that's the second part. The third part, which just doesn't happen, is that we have to train our referral partners. So it's like me going, could I just grab your name? No? David. Perfect, because I'm sick of just using Karen all the time. I feel like I'm not sharing. Karen's loving it, but I want to share with other people. So David and I are going to be referral partners. And I go, hey, David, we teach people referrals. Off you go find us referrals, please. How can he? It's like you hiring a salesperson and saying, hey, salesperson, off you go and go make me lots of sales. And when they don't, it's their fault for not making sales. Of course it's not. We have to train our partners on what we actually want them to do. So we actually do this through a referral training manual. I'm going to give you a link at the end where you're going to get these resources to save you a whole bunch of time and effort. So our referral training manual is actually an 8-page document where we teach our partners how to find us referrals. So there's like a whole page there where David has to, if he hears any of these statements, he knows that that's a great referral for us. He knows who are the perfect types of people that we'd like to be in touch with. He knows all these ways that he can help us besides just finding us referrals. So it's like nothing else. If you want someone to do something good for you, you need to train them how to. So that's what we do in step 3. We train our referral partners on how to get us more referrals. So to me, all of that has to take place before we can create our first action plan. So this is what the majority of people do. They go, they ask, and then they expect the action to start, and then it filters out and fails within the first 60 days, and they go, well, why didn't that work? It's because you've missed the 2 key ingredients to make that referral relationship last. Now, you might ask somebody, and by the time you get to the conversation, it might be finished. You want this and they want that, and therefore it's not going to work. That's fine. Sometimes you have to ask 5, 10 people to get one really good partner. But it's worth that happening if they're going to then pass you a referral every single week. Okay? So don't think just because you asked and someone said yes, that they are actually the right referral partner for you. You will know after you do the conversation. And be happy to drop referral partners. Because in the end, this is about you building your referral team. It's not about going, oh, well, I'll accept anybody and hope that it works. No, it's about you having people who are actually going to pass you referrals week in, week out. Okay? So, we're going to go through that process until we get 6 individual profitability partners. Now, you're not going to be able to go from 0 to 6 instantly. It's too overwhelming. So start off and try to find 2 profitability partners in the next month. And once you are working with that 2 and you feel comfortable, good, add a 3rd, then add a 4th, and eventually you'll get to having 6. So why 6? There is a set agenda that we actually use with our profitability partner calls. So we start off with the accountability from the week before. So obviously in the first week there's no accountability. Right? But after that, the accountability from the week before. So good. David, I said I'd share your video. I said that I'd introduce you to this person, and I said I'd do ABC for you. This is where this is up to, this is where this is up to, etc. Because we need to keep each other accountable to being partners. And if we don't do that, what's the point of being partners? Okay, so we start off with the accountability. Then we go into goal, connection, 3 things. Let's work through that. So our simple agenda goes, David and I are profitability partners, so rin. Hey, David, Michael here. David says, hi, Michael. Good, ready for our profitability partner call. This isn't a chit-chat call. We do that some other time. This is 10 minutes, profitability partner call, same time, same day, every single week, 52 weeks of the year. So David's ready. And I go, good. So last week I had to do boom, and I go through the accountability. David then says, good. So last week, Michael, I had to do this for you. Accountability done. So now I go, good. So David, what's your goal for this week? Now, if I could help him with his goal, I will. But if I can't, doesn't matter. At least he's staying accountable for the next week. So David might say, oh, I've just got to fix up my bookkeeping systems. I go, brilliant. Good luck with that. I've got nothing to do with that. And I'll just make sure that you're accountable for the next week. Or David might say, hey, I'd really love if you could, if I could bounce some marketing ideas off you. Perfect, I can help you with that. Okay, so the goal doesn't really matter, it's just whatever goal you need to get done for the week. So then we get on to connection. So I say, David, what sort of connection would you like? Now this is a mistake that people make. People ask the connection to be the client that they want. No. Because if David, what do you do, David? Lovely, selling property. So if David said, Michael, the connection I'd love is an investor that would like to buy property. Who cares? I could give him 1. Big deal. But imagine if I then said, oh, well, how about I introduce you, David, to a financial planner who's all about creating wealth for his clients, and David now might pick up 10 or 15 clients rather than just 1. Can you see how when you ask for the connection, you want to ask for a connection to the people who have all your clients rather than ask for the connection to a client? Because that gives you 1. You're starting to realise I don't want just 1, I want many. So you've got to start thinking about Who are the people you want to be connected to that have all your clients? So when you're starting to write down your partners, they're the sorts of people that you would ask to be connected to. Okay? David, who's one of them? Shout it out for me. Okay. Lovely. So rather than David saying, oh, I love one person, he goes, hey, if you happen to know anyone at Stanford Property Group, that would be a great connection to me. Because then I'm assuming if you got introduced to them, you would get multiple sales. Yes. Okay, so you don't actually need to be connected then to them. Who has all of your clients? Brilliant. Lovely. Fantastic. Okay, so that's who David would ask, because he then gets to make multiple sales. Good. So I asked David, who do you want to be connected to? He says, financial planners. Then David says, Michael, who do you want to be connected to? I go, business coaches. Brilliant. Now we get on to this. So what are 3 things that I could do for you this week? Now we're about to completely change our mindset. Because the majority of people are looking like that. And they go, hey, referral partner, it'd be great if you could pass me a referral. Duh, that's why we're referral partners. Of course I'm going to try to pass you referrals if it comes to me. So what else could I get my partner doing? Because in the end, it's all about how do I get more exposure? How do I get doors opened? How do I get sales funnel filled? As well as then, how do we create referrals? Because all of that equals new business. So David might say, hey, we've just done this great video on property investing. Would you mind sharing that to his network? Would you mind sharing that to your network? I go, yeah, not a problem. So now I share it to my 1,000 people. And sure, there's a percentage of that who don't care one bit. But there's also a percentage that do care. So what have I done? Giving him exposure. And if the video had some sort of call to action, I possibly have helped fill his sales funnel. So you want your partners to be able to do things for you that give you exposure, that open doors into new networks for you, that fill your sales funnels for you. So just imagine if you had 6 profitability partners who all did 3 things for you every single week, that's 18 things being done for your business. Who had 3 or 4 things done for their business this week by somebody else, let alone 18? Hey, don't worry, most people, the answer is, I had none. So imagine if all of a sudden now, just with 6 partners, you were getting all this exposure and doors opening into new networks and leveraging into new networks that you didn't even know existed. Can you start to see how the business has to be different? All of a sudden now, it's not you doing it all yourself anymore. It's not you trying to create leads by yourself anymore. You're going on the back of other people's credibility. And that's the easiest way to get into other people's networks, is on the back of their credibility. And that's what your partners are all about being able to do. So your profitability partners is a one-on-one phone call that you do with 6 different people. So you could say exactly the same things to all 6 people for that week. Doesn't have to be different, because those 6 people all have different connections, different networks, different clientele. So if you said exactly the same things to all 6 people, it's not really a whole bunch of time on your behalf to come up with those things. So why do we say only 6? Because remember, you're doing 3 things for each of those people too. And if you had 18 things to do for other people, it takes you about 2.5 hours to be able to do that. So for most people, they probably can't spend more than that time with 6 partners. But as I said, don't worry about getting to 6 to start with. Worry about getting to 2. So let's actually do this right now. Who possibly could be your first 2 profitability partners? Have you got them down? Do you now need to rethink it because who you wrote down you actually don't want to speak to every week? So think, who actually could be a profitability partner of yours? Right? See if we can get 3, 4, 5 names down, because if you've got 5 names down, I reckon you're going to get 2 profitability partners. Let's spend 3 minutes and let's see if we can get a bunch of names down that come Monday, because you're here tomorrow, then you can enjoy the weekend. So come Monday, you're actually going to ask these people on would they actually like to be your referral partners. Right, let's go, 3 minutes. See if we can get 5 names down. Rightio, I might bring you back together and let's quickly do this. Just because we're getting towards the end of the day, you've been sitting an awful lot, you've got an awful lot in your heads. I want you to go find one other person that you have not spoken to so far today and go, so what was the most valuable for you out of building your referral teams? Okay, we've got literally 1 minute, no music, 1 minute, 30 seconds both way. Go find someone you have not spoken to today and say, what did you find the most valuable out of building your referral teams? We've only got 60 seconds. You don't have time to sit down and have a chat about it. It's simply go find somebody else. What was the most valuable for you in building your referral teams? We seem to have an odd number, so join up as a 3. Or come tell me.
So what have I learned? So the thing that I really, I've done videos, I've done 12 of them, and I will go to those individual people that were involved in those videos, because there's about 8 of them.
Yep.
And talk to them about sharing it.
Brilliant.
So
Good
that's what
work.
I took from that.
Well done. Okay, change over. Get the other person saying it. 20 seconds, we're coming back together. Ready, 5, 4, 3, 2. And let's come back together. If you want to go back to your spot. And let's continue moving on. That's what I love. You've got you engaged. You're just not listening to me at all. Brilliant. No, I'm just going to talk to the people who are back in their chairs ready to go. Ah, look at that. Brilliant. Let me quickly go. What has been the most valuable so far about referral teams? Nice. Lovely. Over here, someone on that table, most valuable so far? If we all look to each other or look to the ground or hope that someone else is going to answer this table here. Okay. I'm glad we managed to get some business for somebody. So that's lovely. So in terms of referral teams, anything to share that popped out as a light bulb for you guys? Yeah, good. Yep, lovely. Fantastic. Someone at this table here, that's not Karen. I already know about her business. Most valuable so far? Most valuable about referral teams? Something that's popped out for you? Nice. Yeah, lovely. Up the back there, last one. That's not David. I already know about David. Go on, David, save them. Yeah, nice. Yep. So true. If you don't get on the same page to start with, you're destined to fail. You failed before you even start. So it is just so important to be on the same page to start with. So good. Rightio, let's get into using our networks. And that little saying, if you don't ask, you don't get. How true is it? How many times do you get asked, so what can I do for you? And you say, oh no, don't worry, I've got nothing. Of course you've got something. You just haven't worked out what it is yet. So if I'm here and I've got your ideal client, I've got 100,000 of them, of your ideal client, and I said to you, so what could I do to help you? What would you tell me? Write it down. So I've got like 100,000 of your ideal client right now in my network, and I say to you, so what could I do to help you? What would you get me to do? So people are a little bit stuck. You might go, hey, I'd love you to share a particular video. I'd love you to share a particular webinar we did. I'd love you to be able to have me on your podcast. I'd love for you to be able to introduce me to a handful of people. I'd love if you could promote my latest article. Think about ways and resources that you have that partners could promote for you. Sorry, your name was Joanne. So Joanne came and shared to me that she's done these great 12 videos. 8 different people are in them. She said, oh, well, I should be going back to those 8 people and getting them to promote those videos to their network. Of course she should. Because now Joanne is getting leveraged into 8 new networks that she doesn't even know who they are, and who knows who will then come back over to her to need her products or services, not knowing what Joanne does. Okay? That's how you've got to be thinking. So if someone says, how could I help you? You need to have a list of ways people could help you. Your answer is never, oh no, it's okay, I've got nothing. That's never the right answer. You should always have something that people could promote for you. Right, just quickly, call some out for me. One over there that's not the same person, different person. So maybe it's, you could fall back on it, I don't like it, but maybe it's some sort of special offer. I think rather than offering something, you catch more people by adding value to them, more people will come to you. So we've just probably got to find a way of what that looks like for you. Okay? So if someone says to me, oh, so what could I do to help you? I'm going to say, oh, could you email your clients and just see who wants more referrals? Because they don't know who I am. They don't like me. They don't trust me. They don't know me. So how many people are going to say, oh yeah, I'll do that? 1 if you're lucky. But if we shared something such as a quick little video on how to be able to do something in their business, what do we build? The trust. I now know you, I now like you. And therefore, a larger percentage of people are likely to come and buy from us. So you're going to be thinking sort of that way. Okay? So that's the first thing. You've got to have a way for people to help you. The next thing is, what actually does your network look like right now? So when we go on a simple scale of 0 to 10, 10 being everyone in my network I have the potential to do something with. They can either open doors for me, they can partner with me, we can sell to them, and I've got an extensive network, all of those people. That would be a 10. Most people would sit here around the 5 mark, where they'd say, probably 50% of my network are relevant, 50% of my network aren't relevant. I'm probably not really front of mind of them very often. We probably don't communicate very often, and we're probably not doing things with each other. Call that a 5. Then you've got down here at the 0 mark where you just don't even know you've got a network. Okay? And some people are in that boat too. So what does this actually look like for us? Draw yourself a circle, write the word network. Now, your network is made up of everyone that's around you. This is a network within your network. Social media platforms, every single person that friends you, follows you, connects with you, whatever other terminology there are, depending on what platform you are. Everyone in a CRM, everyone in a phone, everyone that you've got a card for, staff, contractors, employees, distributors, everyone around you is part of your network. And why do you have to look at it that way? It becomes really important when you understand this. So you have your immediate network. We just call that the A circle. They're the people you immediately know. we just go off the numbers that roughly 250 people immediately. But then, from the A circle, there is a B circle. And that's everyone that the A people know. Okay. I know Karen, she's part of our A network. I know her immediately. But then Karen knows 250 people who I don't know. But that's my B network, because I could reach them through Karen. But then we also have the next layer, which is our C network. That's where we stop. So I know Karen, who's in our A network. Karen happens to know, person next to Karen? Shaz? I don't know Shaz, but through Karen I could. So Shaz is in our B network. But then Shaz has a completely her own network also, which we call our C network. Look at how simple this is. So in our A network, there are 250 people. So in our B network, there are 64,000 people, 250 by 250. In our C network, there are 16.5 million people, 250 by 250 by 250. Do you reckon if you had access to 16.5 million people, you should actually have a good business? Of course. But very few people ever utilise their networks properly. When was the last time you asked someone in your network to an introduction to someone else? How easy is that? Pop on a social media and go, hey, I'm happy to be looking for a accountant, which is what David's looking for as a partner, wondering if anyone knows anyone. Now all of a sudden, David's gone to his A network looking for accountants, and in the end, his A network now takes him to his B network, and he gets 7 people coming back going, oh yeah, try them. Well now, David's just expanded his network by 7 new accountants just by simply asking. So that's the power of being able to actually utilise your network properly. But let's now take this back a step. Because the majority of time, the reason why you can't use your networks properly is because the people in your network believe that they are a transaction. The only time you talk to people in your network is when you want something. Well, I'm not going to create too many opportunities for you if the only time you talk to me is when you want something, am I? So you have to constantly be able to show your network how much you care about them. You need to personally engage with your network. And if you do that, they will now create opportunities for you. So let's focus on this. How many people create conversations with their network day in, day out? Just simple, how you going conversations. Very few. I have at least 100 plus messages on Messenger a day just to see how our network is going. Every day that creates at least 30 to 40 sales. Wasn't what we started for, but because we are constantly touching base with our network, we are staying front of mind. So that's the thing that kills most people, is that they are not front of mind of their network. You're forgotten after 45 days. That's it. So I'm up here with you guys. Hopefully we're giving you great value. In 46 days' time, if we haven't kept our relationship with you, you won't remember me. As sad as what that is, that's the reality of it. Simply because we all live such busy lives. So how are you staying front of mind of your network? And the answer is not sending a newsletter every 30 days. Because if that's the only thing you do, just shoot yourself in the foot now and be done with it. Because who wants to read a newsletter? How many do you just delete without reading? Okay, well, same with everyone else. Why do we have 87% open rates to our email outs? Because in the in-between time, we are personally engaging with you. So then when you see our name, you go, oh, that's Michael again. Let's see what he has to say. Other than, oh, that company again. The only time they email me is when they've got to tell me a whole blurb about stuff I don't care about. So you've got to start thinking now two different ways. What does your network look like? And do I need to change it, improve it, get the right sorts of people into it? And then secondly, what am I actually doing to enhance my relationship with my network? So I know that I could put something out into our network and we would have hundreds and hundreds of people be there ready to do what we ask. Why? Purely because of the relationship that we have with our network. So I loved before when I was listening around more leads, but maybe the conversions have gone down because you used to call and have a relationship and now it's more automated. Of course. Because you're always, it doesn't mean that it's the right or wrong thing, but you're always going to have better conversions when you have a better relationship. Now that takes time and effort, I get that. But that's what you've got to constantly weigh up. So what I want you to take out of this is, what does my network look like? Do I actually really have a network I could call upon? Do I have people in my network who are walking billboards for me that are just non-stop talking about me all the time? Or do I need to get them into my network? And secondly, how engaged are you with your network? How often do you speak about them? If you were to look at your network, would they actually remember who you are? Would they remember what you do? Or would they just remember your name and go, oh yeah, Mark, he sort of did that music thing, I think. Well, that doesn't help. Because if they only know Mark is doing that music thing, rather than having the Didgeridoo Academy, well, they can't talk about it with authority that's going to make someone go, oh, I want to meet Mark. They're like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. So that's why it's really important to have your relationship and be front of mind of your network. Yep. Rightio. Light bulb moment there. What was it? So from that little thing, what stood out for you? Write it down, share it before we quickly get on to the last bit. What was from that network piece, what's the thing that you go, yeah, that actually really just makes sense to me and I need to focus on that? Okay. I'm just going to get a couple of people shortly to share it, but write it down. Because this will all come towards creating our plan at the end. Rightio, aha moments. What were they? Yep, so from the network piece, let's just go to the network piece. So what was the valuable piece from just that little segment there on our networks? Yeah, good. Yep, lovely. A, B, and C. Lovely. Yep. It's a lot of people, isn't it? Who would say that they've got a fairly good relationship with most people in this room now? Who would say? Who would say they would be happy to talk to anyone in this room? Let's do it that way. Yeah, good. So 250, 500, 750, 1,000, 1,250, 1,500, 1,750, 2,000. There's a lot of people you could meet just from those two tables alone, let alone everyone else. But you can't do that unless you start having conversations with people. So I don't bother getting on the phone to purely just sell to people because I know the majority of people don't buy from you. 80-20 rules. So you're really going to leave 80% of the money on the table? No. So many of those people would be great partners that could open doors for you. But if you don't have that mindset going into the phone call that, hey, let's just see what we can do with each other, then in the end, you end up leaving money on the table. Okay? Lovely. Okay. So that brings us nicely then into creating conversations. How many people a day are you talking to? And if the answer is less than 10, then we need to change it. So we've got our lovely network. We know that we need to personally engage with them. But the problem is that most people, only thing they think about is sell. And that's fine. We've been taught that obviously we're going to make sales. But if the only reason why you're having conversations with people is to sell, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. So we need to have the mindset of sell, partner, and door opener. Because when you think like that, every single conversation you have is a great conversation. So there's a whole bunch of people here that we could have conversations with that have got no need for what we do. And that's absolutely brilliant. But I bet you they've got a great network that we might be able to help add value to. Or I bet you they know somebody that we might be able to go and do stuff with. But if you don't think wider to every person and what you could talk to them about, and you only focus on sell, what happens when that person says, oh, sorry, I don't have a need for your product or service? Do you just go, oh, well, next? That's a tough way of doing things. Because I guarantee you, when you go A, B, C circle, they probably could actually be a lot more useful for that. So create conversations purely to work out what can happen. Don't go into conversations going, oh, I'm going to sell to you. Go into conversations going, hey, don't know what's going to happen here, but the more conversations I have, the more opportunities I'm going to get to partner with people, the more opportunities I'm going to get to have doors open for me, the more opportunities I'm going to get to be able to get exposure and do cross-promotions with people. And if the person needs what it is that you sell, guess what they'll do? Buy. Right? So the majority of the time, I don't even need to go into conversations focusing on selling. I go into conversations simply going, hey, let's just talk. I've got no idea where it's going to lead, but it's always going to lead to something great because every single person can be one of those three things. Okay? So you've got to go, how could you create conversations? Well, we have this simple little personal engagement plan, and all it takes is 30 minutes in a block to do it. So you might do it 5 days a week, you might do it 3 days a week, you might only do it once. It depends on how full your sales funnel is. And we simply go, we're going to send 10 how are you emails in this 30-minute block. So subject line, hope all is well. Hi Karen, was just thinking of the other week, thought I'd reach out, say hello, how's business going, talk to you soon, Michael. Because what are we trying to do? Simply open up a conversation. Karen might answer, she might not. I don't care. I haven't wasted a great deal of time because now I copy and paste that and do it 10 times. So that could take me 2 minutes to do 10 of those. Then we're going to do 10 how are you social media messages. Don't care what platform you like. On every single platform, you can send a direct message to people. So your message is just simply, hey Karen, just saw your face pop up here, thought I'd say hello. How's business going? Talk soon, Michael. Karen's got no idea whether her face popped up there or not. You've got no way of telling. And by saying that, it now sounds like you're not stalking her. Okay, so that's a good thing too. Okay? So again, all you're trying to do is create conversations with people. So then we do 3 how are you phone calls. Now, generally, when someone phones you, what is it? Telemarketer or someone trying to sell something to you. So imagine if you actually got phone calls where it was just simply, hey, just thought I'd give you a call and see how things are going. Now, you can't do this starting Monday if you haven't created that culture because they're going to go, what? Why are you calling me? But if your network is used to that taking place, it goes something like this. Hey, David, Michael Griffiths here, referral marketing guru. Thought I'd give you a quick call and say hello. The response we get, wow, thanks so much for taking the time. Things are going really well or really bad or whatever it happens to be. But they are really appreciative of the call. But that's because that's the culture we've created, that's what we do. Okay? So why do we make those calls? Because 2 out of every 3 turn into sales calls. Because it's funny how many times David then says, oh, Michael, I was actually meaning to call you the other week and talk about, oh, were you? Well, here we go. Let's talk about it now. Okay? But you don't call for the purpose of creating a sales call. You call for the purpose of, hey, just thought I'd check in and see how things are going. Imagine if you did that to your clients, how much more they'd love you, how much more of a walking billboard they would be, how much more that they'd actually pass other people on to you, and how much more would you actually retain them. just by a simple phone call just to check in on how they are. How easy is that? But for most people, we see that as being time consuming. No. One of the most important things you could do in your business. And then we just send simple to how are you handwritten cards. So handwritten cards. Because what do you normally get in the mail? Junk or bills. So we've just engaged with 25 people in our network on a personal level in a 30-minute block. Imagine if you did that every day of the week. Like that's 125 people you've just personally engaged with. Do you know how many opportunities you create from that? So luckily, not everyone responds. Only about 50% respond. So that's the nice thing. So you could be sitting there going, 125 conversations. I've got no hope of doing that, Michael. Well, that's fine. You don't have 125. You'll have 60 odd. But even if you just said, hey, that's too many because I can't cope with it, that's fine. Scale it down. And just have 5 personal engagement conversations a day. 25 for the week, which would probably give you then 12 to follow up on. You start to see how creating opportunities is pretty easy to do, and you've already got all the resources in front of you. You've just got to do some simple little activities. Okay? I've got nothing against automation, but I reckon it's made us pretty lazy. So let's get back to basics. What did we do 20 years ago? It was the personal relationship, wasn't it? That's what drove business. So how about you stand out and get back to the personal relationship and let all those other people fight behind the automation. I'm not saying don't automate things, of course, but where you can do things personally engaging, you stand out so much further than everyone else in your industry. So you've just got to work out how do you do that. Okay? So pick your favorite platform and start sending messages. Facebook is 100 times more engaging than LinkedIn. And your people, if you're a LinkedIn person, your people on LinkedIn are also on Facebook. Okay? So understand that. I can send 10 messages on LinkedIn, I'll get 2 back. I'll send 10 messages on Facebook, I'll get 10 messages back in 30 minutes. That's just because that platform is created a culture of engagement where this platform hasn't. So just understand those things too. Okay? So if I'm going to spend time and effort somewhere, then I want people actually responding back. I don't want to just do it for the fun of it. Okay? Good work. Okay, let's get a little plan together. Yeah? What are we going to do come next week? So, first thing that I would be looking at doing is I would be going, how do I create 2 referral partners? And I'm going to now start building my team. So that's the first thing that I'd be looking at doing. So you might have to ask 6, 10 people to get your 2 referral partners. But that's the first thing that you want to be doing. The second thing that you want to be doing is that you want to be engaging with your network. Who have you not spoken to in at least 30 days? You want to reach out to them and say hello. So go through everyone that you haven't spoken to in the last 30 days, and it's a simple, hey, thought I'd reach out and say hello and see how things are going. That's it. That's as simple as that message is. And now you can just copy and paste that and send that to people you haven't reached out to for at least 30 days. I'll apologise now, that will create you new business. Then, how many 30-minute blocks are you going to do in a week? Do you just want to do it once a week? Get it started? Do you want to do it every day? But how many 30-minute blocks are you going to do in a week of personal engagement? We just call that our personal engagement plan, PEP. They're the only 3 things that we're going to focus on. Get 2 referral partners, engage with people in your network that you have not in the last 30 days, and start doing a 30-minute block of personal engagement. When we break it down to that, it seems pretty simple, doesn't it? And the thing is, it is simple. Like, there's nothing here that's difficult. It's just understanding what to do and how to do it. Now, the 30-minute blocks, you don't have to do that personally. If you've got a team member, they can send out the messages to start with, and then you pick the messages up when people respond. So there are ways where this doesn't have to be physically you doing it. Okay? So just because I'm aware of time also, I'm just going to put that there. So our referral training manual, our referral success kit, our personal engagement plan, and how to grow your network, all 4 of those tools are on that link there. Okay, that's the easiest way to do it. And then that way then you get those resources and you have the ability to grow your network correctly, engage with your network correctly, and train your partners correctly. Okay, so that's the nice simple way of being able to do that. How are we done? I tried to fit 90 minutes into 75. I think we got there. I feel like we went quickly, but I wanted to get everything in pretty quickly. We've done okay? Makes sense? Lovely. Thank you, Steve, for starting it off.
Give him a big round of applause. No worries, mate. Well done. Thank you very much.